Okay, so in this lesson we're going to learn about the use of static versus non-static methods. Let's say we wanted to create a program that just simply adds two numbers together. Let's create a new file, and it's going to be a text document just as usual. I'll call it sum.java, and I will say yes to that, and I'll drag that into Notepad++. Now let's set up our class. And our main method. So if we wanted to do this the smart way, we would do it in a separate method, and we'd call that public, and we'd use a return method for this. Would probably be the best one to do. So I'd say int. I'm going to do an int return since I'm doing sums, and I'll call it add, and it will take these two parameters, int1 and int2. And so I could say return 1 plus 2. And so if I wanted to add any two numbers together, I could just add two variables together, or I could put in new numbers. So I can say, let's go print, we can go system out print line, and then I would say add, and I put in 5 and 5. And of course there's more complicated ways to do this. I could take user inputs for 1 and 2 and put those in, but this is basically the simplest way to do it. So I can run this, and what happens is this error here, non-static method reference from a static context. And so we've learned that what this means essentially is that this method add is not freestanding. So in order to be able to use it, I would have to have done something like this. Like I would have to create an object of my sum class. So I'd say sum, and let's just go sum again equals new sum. So I would create an object of the sum class, and then I could reference this add method through the sum object. So I could say sum dot add, and I use dot notation to call the add method that's on the sum object. Well, we can also create freestanding methods, and we do that by adding the keyword static. So the diagram essentially goes access type, then we add the static keyword, return type, and then the method name. Then we add our parameters if we need them, and then our code statements, of course, go inside the brackets. Also, we'll take away this call to sum, and then if we run this, it actually outputs our 10, because 5 plus 5 is 10. Hopefully we knew that already. So that's just a quick rundown of static methods. We're going to be primarily using these for the foreseeable future. We don't really need to do object-oriented stuff until we start doing certain things that are a little bit more complicated. I don't want you to completely throw out everything that we learned with creating objects or any of that. I would like you to just save that for later. I'm going to give you a few more tools, and then when we're ready, we're going to go over the complete object-oriented concepts. But for now, you just need to understand the difference between a regular method and a static one, so that going forward we can continue to use the static methods, and then when we go back to creating objects and things like that, you understand what we mean.